Hi Melinda, thank you for joining me. We're at the Future of Mining. I wonder if you could quickly introduce yourself and share a little bit about what you're doing.
First of all, can I say hi to you, Holly, and to say thank you so much for Unearthed for all that you guys are doing, creating a community of interest for technology and the conversation about the future of mining. It's been really important to do and to create this.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Yes, thank you. And in terms of what I'm doing, I'm CEO of Clean Mining, and we are investing in really what we would say would be the third force of metallurgy, sitting between pyro and hydromet. Nothing has come through to overwhelm the industry for over 70 years, and we're in that space.
It's time for a change.
It is definitely time for a change, particularly one that's non-toxic.
And can you explain a little bit for people that are outside the space, like what kind of impact you expect the technology that you're developing to have?
So our dream is to be able to focus on all future polymetallic ore bodies that are both single and double refractory by 2030. We would love to be processing that material.
And can you talk a little bit about where you're up to at the moment, how it's going, like what are the next stages of your focus?
So we are very early stage. We are a startup, and we're at lab scale, and we basically have to de-risk our flow sheet now. So we are actively moving through that process. So we know we can leach, we can filter, and we can capture as a mixed metal cathode all the metals that are in a sulfide ore body, which is very powerful from a revenue perspective, and we just have to now make sure that we can bring that to commercialization.
And is there any support you're looking for from industry or investors at the moment?
Definitely. So we have three asks. Number one, we would love to get concentrate samples from any mine around the world, in particularly polymetallics. Anything, as long as it's ideally got gold in it, but silver, cobalt, copper, all the PGMs, we can capture all of those as a mixed metal cathode, so very powerful. Secondly, we would love to be able to talk to any high-level metallurgist or anyone with salt expertise, because we need to build global bench strength. And as we know, the market has been really decimated over the last 20 years because miners haven't been investing in metallurgy, because we've been relying on certain other countries to be able to do that work for us. And that concentration of skill is in one country only, and we need to build that out globally. So I need to find global bench strength in metallurgy, and then the other thing I need to find global bench strength in is in salt crystallization skills as well. And then my third ask is I would love to have some patient capital investors to come through and to be able to help us to take our technology to the next level, so that we can build both pilot plant and then demonstration plant through into commercialization.
Awesome. Okay, and finally, so we are at the Future of Mining conference. Obviously, what are some of the interesting things that you've heard about so far at the conference? And is there anything that you think we should be talking about as an industry that we're not?
So I think what's interesting is now the energy transition is well in the conversation. So we've moved on from AI to talking about what energy investments can be made and the difference that mining can have in terms of changing the way that it operates. So I think that's very firmly embedded now, and perhaps it wasn't a few years ago. The interesting thing is that we still have a long way to go in terms of understanding what that supply chain needs to look like, and I don't think that's the conversation that we're having. That if we're going to cut other energy out, are we sure that we've got enough for the future? And then I think our understanding of critical minerals and where we're getting those from, and understanding globally what that picture looks like, and being able to work more together globally as miners, talking whether it be with governments and with each other, and collaborating much more. I think we've still got a long way to go on that, and I think we're in for a very rocky time over the next 2 years.
I couldn't agree more. Well, look, thank you so much. Can you let us know how people can find you and your company online?
Good question. So we have a website, but our website's a bit of a strange one to find right now. So we're at Clean Resources, but it's clnresources.com, and then we're there to be found. We will be updating our website very soon. So
And also your LinkedIn, what's your personal link?
LinkedIn is under Melinda Moore as LinkedIn, and please, do link in with me. That is an easier target.
All right, thank you so much, Melinda. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Well, thank you, Holly.
Hey, I'm here with Russell from Ready Explore. Welcome, Russell. Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
So Radixplo is an artificial intelligence that enables companies to leverage unstructured data to make better decisions or informed decisions. And so people always ask me about unstructured data, and that's qualitative text-based information within documents, text files, images, audio, video files. But for the resources industry, because it's over 200 years old, it's mainly old scanned reports within PDF files.
Yeah, I mean, as a geologist myself, I know that pain of looking through hundreds and hundreds of old reports trying to find information, and with your tool you can literally just scan all that in seconds and easily find what you're looking for. So it's really saving geologists a lot of time. So how have you found the conference so far? Is there any kind of interesting things that you've heard being talked about?
So I didn't attend a lot of the talks, but I spoke to people here from other value chains of the mining industry, which I'm not often exposed to, and they gave me ideas on how I can apply this technology into those value chains. So that's an to me.
Yeah, awesome, more product development. Yeah. And so just going back to that, what are the next steps for the business? What do you think is going to happen in the next 12 months?
The main thing we need to do for the next 12 months is do our first seed round and grow our team, because it's too much to do between me and my co-founder. And so we do that, explore the alternative business, hybrid business model that we spoke about in the talk, and build our database with data all over Australia and some of the other regions globally.
Awesome. So, what is your ask of investors, and what kind of investors are you looking for?
So money hasn't been a problem, because we've received several offers that we want someone for our next project generator venture. We want someone who understands how to vend projects out into the market and get that expertise into the company along with being an investor.
Okay, excellent. So anyone listening, please get in touch with Russell. How can people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, where I post regularly. Otherwise, you can just check our website out, radixflow.com.
And finally, before you go, let's talk about the future of AI and data science and exploration. Fast forward a couple of years, what do you think will have changed, and how do you think people will be doing things differently?
So AI related to exploration geology specifically. Yeah. And I feel that a lot of companies right now are attempting to use AI and spatial data to create these mineral prediction maps similar to the hackathon that you guys organized a while back. So I'd be curious to see if someone actually finds things within using those mineral prediction maps. Because at least when I think about it theoretically as a geologist and a data scientist, the number of assumptions that go into building those maps are quite large. So if someone does find something, I'd be curious to see how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. The data is complex, and we have to make a lot of assumptions. But hopefully it helps geologists make some better decisions. Awesome, well thanks Russell, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm here with Rob from Urban.io.
Hi.
Rob, can you tell us a little bit about what Urban.io does?
Cool. So Urban.io is a industrial IoT as a service provider. So what we do is we design and manufacture a whole bunch of different sensors that are hardened, and they're great for retrofitting onto assets and other things that are really important that exist on the fringes of mining sites, or any site, but here we're at a mining conference. And we go and capture that data and then send it to the people who are responsible for looking after the assets. So normally it's people who drive around all the time, having to inspect them, and they're driving thousands of kilometres every year. It's quite risky, and they're obviously hurting the environment with emissions as well. And it's expensive. So what we do is we put these sensors onto these assets. They normally couldn't connect, get the data to them on their phone, and then they only go when the asset's unhappy. So a motor's failed, or a pump stopped, or something like that. And they go when we need to. So it's like an industrial Fitbit for things on the fringes of sites.
Nice. And so what kind of people should get in touch with you if they're interested? What kind of people do you buy from you?
So our typical customer persona, the people that we work with, it would be a reliability engineering team or the maintenance teams that are responsible on site. And then maybe site comms, they're the people who are kind of connecting stuff, or they maybe have other telemetry systems and we would sit beside them. And that's typically who we work with on a day-to-day basis. Alternatively, if you are a data science organisation who require data from difficult to reach places in sites, we also partner with organisations like that or other companies that have software that needs data in that kind of way. And we often work in partnership and act as almost like a data acquisition service as their partnership.
Awesome. Now, we are at the Future of Mining conference.
Yep.
So, I guess from your perspective, what are the key themes that have come out of the conference that you think are going to be indicators of where the industry is going?
Look, I mean, I think sustainability is a big factor. Everyone's really, let's make it more sustainable, greener. It's a big focus, and I think everyone's got a bit of a spin towards that. But it's great that there's real awareness of actually doing things without blunt force trauma to the earth. Literally, I think that's kind of trying to just be a lighter touch to the earth, and that's a good. I mean, we obviously try to think in that way as well by reducing the amount of drive time and activity. Look, that's probably the big thing that I've seen talking to people around the space. I think there's a lot of people who are just trying to do things more economically. I mean, that's just from a cost perspective, but that's every year people are going to be saying that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so and we need to be a little bit controversial. So, what are the things that people should be talking about and not talking about? What are issues that you think, or opportunities that we haven't talked about?
Look, as a okay, we'll talk controversy. We're talking about procurement. I mean, can we get some better procurement in the mining industry?
Yes, please.
My godfather, it is so hard to sell to a mining company. I think that the ingrained practices of procurement in these very large organisations is a massive innovation preventer. You stymie innovation simply because you're just too big and hard to deal with. So, please God, try and solve a way to procure more easily without crushing the people who are trying to sell amazing things to you and make you more efficient.
I think that is such a good point. The technology is out there, but we have a lot of processes that are preventing that.
And we are unearthed here with you, so
exactly.
You're unearthing that technology. There you go.
Yeah, but that's a great point. So, look, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
Nice.
Finally, how can people get in touch with you? Where can they find you?
I mean, look, to be honest, if you wanted to just go to urban.io, that's our website, or find me on LinkedIn and connect to me, rob.cumming, and you'll definitely be able to find me. Or contact Unearthed, I guess, maybe. I don't want to flood you with direct contacts. But yeah, we're fairly findable on the internet.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, Rob.
No worries. Great to meet you.
Okay, so we're at the Future of Mining. I'm here with Friska Rura. Friska, can you tell us a little bit about what you're speaking about?
So I'm talking about the relevance of miners as a current and future employer, and also the rate of technological change and how technology can be used to not just mitigate physical safety accidents, but mental health and holistic well-being as well. So, I mean, change is happening faster, it's more far-reaching and complex than ever today, and the past 2 years, there's something called surge capacity that we all have, which is our ability to accept and adopt changes. Now, that surge capacity has been destroyed because of the past 2 years of the pandemic. So we're 2.5 times less likely to embrace change. So this has significant connotations for technology solutions, for innovation, for re-engineering processes. So that's what I'm speaking about today.
That sounds like a fascinating topic, but also a very challenging one. I know this is in your wheelhouse, but how do you actually go about then approaching that challenge from a practical perspective if you are an operator or a leader in an industry?
Yeah, so it's that acronym KISS, Keep It Simple and Stupid? Well, I've kind of repurposed that for the post-COVID world, and I like MIFKISS, which is make it frequent, keep it simple. And too often we use grandiose, fluffy, superfluous terminology that is just overly complicated. So when our surge capacity is depleted, you want to keep any engagement with your people as simple as possible. And now more than ever, people want to see their leaders. So, a 2-minute update in person or over Zoom far outbeats an elegantly engineered town presentation every month. So keep your finger on the pulse, and you can't change people by boring them. So just be real, be authentic, and that will help get you the cut through that you need.
Back to the employment piece, I know this is a very difficult question, but we know everybody is really struggling at the moment to hire and retain really good talent. Any advice for people out there in that position at the moment?
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, people leave managers, they don't leave bosses. So make sure your people leaders really do live and breathe your culture, because one toxic person can poison the lake for 1,000 others. It's nothing new, but very far and few between, especially in the technical industries such as mining, oil and gas, engineering. They'll often let a toxic person stay there because they're technically brilliant, but they don't realize that this is actually probably 10x the cost of actually replacing that person with someone that fits the culture.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and a really, I think, challenging thing.
It is very challenging, very challenging. Because there's operational commitments, there's deadlines, there's reporting to shareholders, so I understand it's a difficult decision to make, but it's not impossible. Yeah.
Alright, so we are at the Future of Mining conference, so I'm keen to get your view on firstly, what are the key topics that you align with that people are talking about here, and also what are the key things that people aren't talking about that they should be?
I really like the topics of ESG, so it's not just because of rising societal expectations, but more and more people are truly committing to and understand that this is how you should do business moving forward. In many of the sessions, they've talked about change management and how important it is. That's great, but it's still the verbalizing of its importance has not been reflected in the commitment of money, effort, time, resources to change management. So I wouldn't say people aren't talking about it, but not active. So all talk, no action.
Okay, that's a good start, actually. Okay, awesome. Thanks. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? And also, how can people find you, reach you?
So they can find me on LinkedIn. Just search for my name, Friska Wiria, or my website is freshbyfriska.com. And I'm also speaking at other conferences, Women in Construction and Engineering, and General Assembly's Women's Empowerment Series.
Awesome. So especially if you're in Sydney, you should definitely find out where you can go and see Friska speak in person. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome.